Okay, it looks like we are live on YouTube.
Okay.
Hello, anyone who is watching us. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Lesley. I'm one of the English speaking teachers at RCIIS, which is the International English School in Toronto, Canada. And our special, amazing guest today is a representative from Cambrian College in Sudbury, Ontario, Marlon Hernandez. Hi, Marlon.
Hi, how you doing, Leslie?
I'm doing
Thank you.
well.
Uh,
Thank you so much for joining me.
Very
Uh,
good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us, and we are happy to be here.
yes, well, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to talk about our pathway agreement. So international students can study English at RCIS and then perhaps attend post-secondary programs at Cambrian College, as well as other colleges and universities in Canada. And yeah, I was just checking for our admissions. I know that it's different for different programs, but
Uh-huh.
generally it seems students in the RCIS pathway program, if they achieve a 70% in our English for academic purposes course,
Uh-huh.
they can then apply for admission at
Yes.
Cambrian. But tell us a little bit about you first off. So, what do you do at Cambrian? How long have you worked there? Just a little introduction about you.
Oh, yes, and thank you. Thank you. I am Marlon Hernandez. I work in Canada here in Cambrian College as a manager for recruitment of international students for Latin America, Europe, and Africa.
Oh,
So
okay.
my job is to recruit interns from that area. And I've been here since 2014. This is my year number 8, start number 8.
Okay, excellent. So you meet a lot of international students, I'm
Yes.
sure. And Cambrian College is a public college. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is. It is a public college. Ontario has 24 publicly funded college, and we are one of those. And we are located in Sudbury, Ontario. We consider for longest time the capital city in Canada, and we are the capital mining of the world in terms of nickel. So we're located here.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about Sudbury before we get into Cambrian programs because I visited Sudbury as a child. I remember just loving it. I did a project in elementary school about the
Mhm.
city because I love seeing the huge big
Big
nickel.
nickel.
And then the nature there is beautiful. So can you speak a little bit about because many international students might not know much about Northern Ontario,
Yes.
um, the interesting wildlife. So could you tell us just about what Sudbury is like? How big is it? What is the experience of living there like?
Okay. Let's define first population because population. To pay attention to population, the city has around 165,000. But in terms of land, the Greater Sudbury area is 2.4 times bigger than Mexico City and around 2 times bigger than Bogota or Sao Paulo. So, and 22 times bigger than Tegucigalpa.
Okay.
So it is that big. As in before, we have 165, 169,000 people. So the population is something that we want to keep growing. And there's a lot of opportunities in terms of jobs in here. We're going to talk about jobs later on. The city is located 4 hours north from Toronto. There is a huge, very good highway from Toronto to Sudbury. Very nice highway, by the way. Beautiful landscape, and the city has all the amenities that you expect in a city. Um, it has all entertainment. In fact, Sudbury does have important to mention that Sudbury is the hub for movies. Obviously, this Vancouver, is Montreal, is Toronto over there. Yet Sudbury has a component of movies, and it chances are when you see a movie from Canada, or even from Hollywood, chances are some of those areas are actually located in Sudbury. In fact, some of our students have been part of those movies on TV programs in Canada. And they're like actors, guy who's in the back, and then they're participating in that, and so they love doing that. There's everything you can find out there. There's a lot of concerts in summertime. Well, not right now because of COVID-19, but there's so many activities, and there summer, and there's a lot of games, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, all the games that you can play it over there, and you can play it here. And then in winter time, you play hockey, play skiing, snowboarding, ice fishing, uh, all these activities you can find in here.
Okay, that's a great explanation for us. So yeah, big city for Northern Ontario, but then lots of open space. You can access it through a nice highway from Toronto, but you are kind of in a cool area of natural landscapes with lots of outdoor activities.
We have 330 lakes.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, you will find a lake. In a way or another, you will find a lake, and beautiful lakes, and nine national parks. And there are so many activities to do, and people love it. Now that we are in the middle of COVID-19, and now it seems to be even more appreciated than before. Because when you live in a big city, and I'm not talking about Toronto, Vancouver, picture New York, picture London, England, picture San Francisco, California, picture Los Angeles. So all these big cities, they are populated, and now living in a city like us, it's easier to move, it's easier to do things, it's enjoy the life as it is.
Yeah, and I know from teaching international students who come to Toronto, they're always curious about, yeah, the beautiful nature of Canada, the wildlife, and a lot of the like very interesting Canadian animals are up in more northern parts, like bears and moose. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to run into them, and you probably won't in Sudbury, but in the surrounding area, there are very interesting.
Of course, there are animals everywhere. But, you know, there's always control in the city, and I have seen those animals in here, but I would say in a safe environment.
A safe distance, yeah,
distance for me, and I don't learn how to handle that.
Yes. Oh yeah, of course.
It's nice to see. There's a bridge for animals, by the way. You're driving from Toronto here. When you're close to the city, it's a bridge. You will see animals crossing. You can Google it. You can find there's something called a bridge for animals in Sudbury, and they even have a camera to watch how the animals move. To keep the environment, to keep them in the ecosystem, right? And because when the human being creates a road, it pretty much is blocking the way from animals to move one side to the other in that road.
They need their own bridges. Awesome. Okay, let's get into talking about Cambrian then. So it's a public college in Sudbury. What else should we know about it? How big is it? What's the student population like?
Okay, Sudbury, I mean, Cambrian College has around 5,000 students, and around 1,500 are international students. Right now, the numbers are a little bit different because of the situation right now, but pretty much that's what it is. We have around 80-something programs. We are offering 74 programs for international students. That's an important opportunity for students. And we have programs in health. We have programs in engineering are the most famous programs that we have, and graduate certificate. These two programs are the most international students. We also have business programs, computer programs. We have a trade program, and then there are practical classes. And we have community service programs too.
Okay, awesome. And so the health programs, technology programs are very popular. What's the campus like, or the infrastructure like? Can you speak a little bit about the facilities that you have?
The building is beautiful. I wish I could share the picture with you, but the building is beautiful. It is very well designed. Once you are inside of one part of the building, you can walk inside of the whole building. You don't have to, when you cross one place to another, when you go from one place to place A to place B or place Z, you can move internally. You don't have to go, especially in winter time. That's important, right? And it's very well designed. Has all the technology, the labs. We do have a special lab for chemical, but we are the only college in Ontario that have a specific lab for chemical engineering. We have labs for engineering, electronics, training. Every program has their own lab. And also, there's something important about Cambrian College, and it's a little bit different than the other college too. We have an applied research department. So it's called Research and Development. And many of our students participate in that Research and Development department, and they get very good experience, and to get very good jobs, and help to get jobs that they haven't. So that's part of the process. And if you come to study with us, you will qualify to apply for a job or an internship, pretty much, or research and applied research, and then you can find a way to get into your connection on the industry you're studying, and a really great opportunity for you.
Okay. Yeah, I was about the beautiful buildings that we did post today on RCIIS social media on Instagram and Facebook, some photos, so students can check out the photos there as well as on the website. And I was interested to see on your website the mention of the co-op, paid co-op programs and field placements.
Yes.
So it sounds like there's nice opportunities for students to get hands-on kind of work experience. Can you speak a little bit about which programs? Do all programs include that? Or
well, you have to divide the narrative of what is co-op from immigration point of view or from academic point of view. You see Immigration Canada, they call everything, they call it co-op. Like if you do an internship or field placement or practicum or whatever they call it, co-op. From academic point of view, co-op for us are the only ones who are paid. In general terms, the only co-op that we have that gets paid is a chemical engineering. Chemical engineering program lasts, by the way, lasts 7 semesters. But what the students do, they study 5 semesters in a row, and they take 2 semesters for internship. And that internship co-op, I will call it co-op in this particular case, they get paid. And in most of the cases, the students, when they have this or this co-op, they get the job. So normally, that's what normally happens. And that's the only case. However, there are other programs like certificate program where the students do have internships, and those internships are not supposed to get paid to do it. However, in some cases, students get honors or something, and or the most important part, they get the job, because at the end of the day, yes, of course, it's nice to have an extra money when you do some internship or practicum, but at the end of the day, the student really wants that, okay, like the job after I finish my internship, and some of these cases are like that.
Okay, awesome. And you mentioned that we'd talk about some jobs later. So I wondered if you had some opinions or experiences to share about student success or how they transition from the college into the working world, or what the job markets are like in Sudbury.
Okay, I'm glad that you mentioned that again. Okay, first of all, this is something important to mention about the area where Sudbury is located. In 2011, government of Canada, Ontario, and the city ran a research, and they realized that they realized that the city needed more people by 2021, which is, and then realized that we were looking about 10,000 jobs in relation to either management or research of manufacturing and hospitality and even retail. All these, there are more than 10,000 jobs that we're looking for. The area with Sudbury, and the city keeps growing. And even during COVID-19, if you notice, Sudbury, like most of the small cities in all over the world, moving this with a lower pace, by the way, but kept moving by not the same way like big cities in any country, like where the situation will get a little bit worse because there are so many people in there. So this city kept moving slowly, kept moving. So you will find opportunities in this area. And it is important to mention that in the Northern Pilot program, I'm going to mention the Northern Pilot program later on, they do the whole intention around Northern Pilot programs to find jobs for that kind of category. And I don't want to mention in terms of, I want to mention some like important jobs or qualifying jobs. But yes, you can get a job any place. you go to any place in the world, and tomorrow you can get a job. The question is, what kind of job? So you go to Toronto, you go to Vancouver, you go to New York, you go to Paris, you will find a job. So when you come to Sudbury, the chances for you to get a job that it will be significant for you to get close to the job that you used to have in your country is a little bit higher. Then you will have industry. Most of the industry here is related to mining. However, please notice that even though we do have mining, we also have a professional system, plus we do have health. So these three big industries, you will find everything related around them. So you find people working in mining, but not as a miner. Because people think, people ask me, okay, I don't have a job as a miner. No, we don't. In fact, general terms, the amount of work as a miner by the people who work outside of the mining is still, it's like, I will use a comparison somebody mentioned to me. I don't have the data, just anecdotal. Somebody told me that many years ago, 93 people used to work inside of the mine, and now only 7 outside. Now it's the other way around. Now you find only 7 people working inside the mine and 93 people outside the mine. So pretty much, it's anecdotal. I don't have the data, but I will guess it will be pretty much the same. Like in Canada, the city will have a lot of people working around the mining industry, doing things that are not related to mining, just in a direct way, not miners. So you will have a lot of people working in companies who sell service and products to mining companies in Peru, Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, Honduras, Chile, Argentina. So you will have that might be able to get jobs, connect them with their own culture, with their own history, with their own language. It would be easier to find a job. Because again, there is a health industry here. That's it not only in Sudbury, by the way, it's all over Canada. You notice now as personal support worker, Canada is supporting that kind of pathway to become Canadian resident, because health right now is it's key for everybody. So you will have many opportunities in this. You can find a job. But I want to be clear about something. Those students who happen to have successful stories are highly related to the English level. There is no way you will find a success story in Canada. I'm not talking about Sudbury, in Canada without English. You need to have that English level. That's why coming to study English or improve your English or be ready for English is important. Not only for you, also for your wife or husband. Because some people say, I will come to work. I'm sorry, I will come to study and my wife or husband will come to work.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How is the English level of your husband? Oh, he knows something. Oh, but that something might not be enough. So why don't you guys take an academic program or take an English program, and then obviously the person is going to take the academic program with us. We need to pay more attention to the English. The other person who will come to work, how do you put this person in an English program in a way that he or she is ready to come and work in Canada? That would be easier for you. And we keep telling the students that you have that opportunity to learn English or improve your English, because it's there. You need to have English so you will be successful in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been really encouraging students also to take advantage of this time when they're stuck at home, and they have a lower cost of living in their home country, a lower cost of online classes to enhance their English skills, improve, sharpen, remind themselves of what they learned years ago, maybe. So then they're really ready to go when they can travel and come and have the great in-person experience in Canada for more studies or for work. We've really just been encouraging that because absolutely, people can still be working on their English and still be entering through pathway programs and getting admission to colleges and still getting the benefit of the PGWP and all of those opportunities.
And we cannot forget that international students, or husband or wives, also want to become Canadian resident, at least most of them. So if they keep studying English, so the chances for them to be ready for the English test for immigration Canada, immigration purposes, is higher. So if you come to take English and then you get it ready for academic purpose or for good, eventually you will need an English too to take an English test, or you can apply for it. So you better be ready for that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's get ready. We've been stuck at home, but we can pursue our goals.
Yes.
And tell us about international students at Cambrian. So if you could talk about what kind of support is there for them, perhaps kind of resources for learning about Canada. Yeah.
To mention one, the Applied Research Department. This is one of the, I think it's important to mention, but we also have another department called Learning Center. Say you come to two classes and then realize that statistics is not okay, you're lacking to understand what is this formula, or you're missing some understanding about accounting, whatever program or subject you're missing, you can go to Learning Center, even by Zoom or one of these platforms. Ask them, you know what, this is me, this is my student number, I'm taking this subject, this program, and I just don't understand this. Please get me a tutor. College will give you for free. And then that will help you to improve, to understand what is going on, and then pass the subject. Because at the end of the day, we want you. This is one. So we have the Learning Center. We also have the Glen Chrome Disability Center. That is for people who happen to have challenges. Like there are some other students that happen to have a different kind of challenges. You can go there too. Again, you can use those services online. You don't have to be live in here, but usually if you're here, well, conversation. And we also have a career center. In the career center, the moment you apply to Cambrian College, and even after you graduate, I'm sorry, the moment you register in Cambrian College, the moment you graduate, that in that period of time, still you can apply for resume critique, job interviews techniques, and they even have mock interviews for you. They give you leads for jobs. By the way, the career center help you get co-op or internships, depends on whatever you're looking for. If you need your program, the career center is very effective way for you to get jobs at the end of the day, right? We also have a housing to have a place to stay, residence. By the way, we do have a first entrance scholarship for students who come to stay in residence. A couple of requirements in there. Number one, you have to be single and no kids. And then you have $1,700 as a scholarship per semester to come to stay in residence. That's another way to see this. Also, if we have an international department, we have international advising. International advising, they follow with you the process. Let's say before you come to Canada, we train you have to cross the border, because even crossing the border has some magic behind that, because you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to be hold at the airport for a small reason like attention. We have that process too. They're giving enough information about the quarantine process, because that's now requirements of quarantine. Give support here in the city when you come. We follow up with you with the vaccine or with the COVID-19 test. When the doors are open, we do have activities in the college or outside the college that are related to international students. By the way, right now, because of COVID-19, and we also have scholarships. Not only the scholarship, but they also have scholarships that are related to academic GPA or because the first, oh, by the way, we do have another scholarship that is for first entry students, that is for books. Give $500 in books scholarship bursary for you to take the first semester. By the way, those $500 are valid until you use it. Let's say you have 2 semesters, and the first semester you use, I don't know, $100. You can still use the other $100 in the following semester. We also have immigration sessions training, because we train. Once you are registered in the college, if you are in the college, you will receive first semester at least 4 seminars or webinars in terms of immigration. Everything related to study permit extension, to work permit, to how to apply for post-graduation work permit, and all these immigration questions have. We do help them with that. In fact, I am happen to be one of those members that happen to have a RCIIS certification. That means a recent immigration consultant for international students. So the immigration advisor for international students. So I'm one of these 2 co-workers that happen to do that training. In fact, today we just gave a training for how to work in Canada as an international student. And then we give this kind of connection. We also have connection with Immigration Canada, and Immigration Canada comes to our college to train you, to explain you more details about how to become Canadian resident. Because we understand that most of you want to become Canadian resident. We have that level of connection. We also have connection with the city in terms of communities, activities, MCA. We do have activities where students go to see hockey games, soccer games, basketball games, and parties and celebrations, and we do that. Of course, because of COVID-19 right now, the situation is not easy, but still we have that opportunity.
Excellent. Oh, well, it sounds like just tons of resources and support for international students. And you mentioned about the helping them through the quarantine process and questions about that. So let's talk about, has Cambrian's president or made any official predictions or announcements for when there will be more in-person classes? Can you speak a little bit about what the current situation is and what the predictions are?
I'm rather talk about what is happening right now. I was speaking right now, we have a hybrid system. So it means that we do have the doors open, but for only those programs, I'm sorry, I will repeat this. Only for those subjects that need to be in class, live. Let's say health programs, labs for chemical engineering, labs for civil engineering, labs for, I don't know, fixing cars or doing some research that you have to be live. Those subjects you have to take live, come, but it's by part. It's like if the group is 20 students, just to give a number, we put 10 in one day, another 10 another day. We don't put the whole thing together because we need to have that space among students. Or restaurants or cafeterias and everything are closed as we speak right now because the situation is not bad, because they don't want a lot of people in there. And we have programs like that, but most of our programs are online as we speak. However, in September, we expect to have a little bit more space so we can add more activities on campus. But we cannot exactly predict what's going to happen because please remember, we follow pretty much three institutions in Canada. Number 1, Immigration Canada. Number 2, Ministry of Education, Ontario. And finally, Health Ontario. So we need to follow these 3 institutions and put together something that makes sense for everybody, including obviously our staff, faculty, and international students.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And if students are keen, they want to apply, can you speak a bit about when are the best times to get their applications in? What are the intake dates? Where should they start?
Okay. First of all, we have the biggest intake is September. Like most of the educational system in North America, September is the biggest intake. Where we do have another intake, small intake in November. That would pretty much for graduate certificate programs. And then we do have another in January, which is a little bit smaller than I would say half of the programs that you show in September, starting in January. Then we have another small group in March. Again, the graduate certificate program. And then in May, we have another intake in May. And then in July, another small group of programs in July. And then we start all over again in September. So pretty much we have 6 intakes, but the most important ones are in September, January, and May. And as you can imagine, most of the programs start in September.
Okay, so is if they were to apply right now, would that be for? Are they too
at
late?
This point of time?
Yeah.
Okay, now we have to add another variable, right? Immigration Canada plus COVID-19. So if we were no COVID-19 time, chances are we will have an opportunity to come for September. But if not, at this point of time, it's better for you to apply for January.
Okay.
However, take case by case. Let's say the student says, well, I am in Canada now, and I have my study permit, and I want to study in Cambrian College in September 2021. Well, if that is your case, the conversation is a little bit different, because maybe you have in your school, you have a couple of students who are in Canada and want to come to Cambrian College. Yes, that is doable. But in general terms, we suggest students to apply for Cambrian College at least 6 months before the program starts, because if not, it will be hard. Not only because of the visa application process or start permit process, but also because of seat availability. You know, the more we're growing, the less chances we have for program. There are some programs that only last a month open, then they close. We have no more seats. What else can we do? So there's nothing. You have to be wait list, and then the chances for you to get a seat after wait listed are difficult, because people are just waiting for those forms.
Okay, so they should plan ahead, start early. Okay.
And that is why we suggest to talk to the advisor in let's say in your school, in your or or the agencies, because either way is good for us, because they have this connection.
Okay, excellent. And I noticed on the main page of the website for Cambrian College, there's a mention of June open house. So are there is that a virtual event they should check out? Are there other things?
It is a virtual event. It's a virtual event in June.
Okay.
That's an opportunity for you. Remember I mentioned apply research, apply learning center, the library, and all these services. That's the moment you can talk to them. Also, you can talk to us in international, but also you can talk to professors. So you're thinking about project management, but you're not sure about project management or international business management. Well, that's the moment you talk to this professor. Your mind is saying, I'd rather go this way first and then take the second one. Oh, I just started this program, and that's it. So that depends on what you. That's a good idea for you to come and talk to professors and other departments, not only international but other departments too.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll wrap up in a few minutes, let's say. So I just want to give you the opportunity, Marlon, if there's anything I didn't ask about that you'd like to speak about, some features that you particularly like about the college, or if you want to give international students some recommendations at this point, I give you the stage.
Okay, thank you. We noticed that we have a lot of students who want to come to Sudbury and Cambrian College because of Northern Pilot Program. It's called RNI, Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program. Which is good, and it's making some attraction in the market. And we do have students from Latin America, from Philippines, from China, from Korea. A lot of regions, a lot of countries all over the world who come for that, and they're becoming Canadian residents using that model. It's good, and because it's very attractive and makes life easier for some candidates. And yet we would like to recognize that when you come to Canada, when you come to Cambrian College, when you come to Sudbury, you also have other options to become Canadian resident. Today I was talking to one of my inside of we were talking, and we were mentioning that perhaps as we speak right now, there are like 10 programs, you become Canadian resident in Canada. So yes, the pilot programs, and you're welcome to apply to those. But you have to consider that also that once you are here, all these doors are open. And then you open the door, you think you qualify, and you come. The Northern Pilot program is good because it gives removes some barriers that you might find in another programs that immigration kind of has. You still can apply. You're welcome to come. And then you can take opportunity with the connection the industry has with us. It's another important thing that our professors are very well connected with the industry. And then chances are, if your professor is teaching project management or international business management or chemical engineering or something like that, whatever he or she's teaching you, chances are he has been working in that industry and she knows people in the industry too. So that's another connection you want to have here with us.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it sounds just delightful, and we'll be sure to promote this video and to keep telling our students about Cambrian College as well as their other pathway options. And thank you so much for speaking. You were just so informed about all these amazing aspects of the college. So I really appreciate you meeting with me.
Thank you, Lesley. Thank you for the opportunity. And we're here to help you. Again, welcome to Canada. Welcome to Sudbury. Welcome to Cambrian College.
Wonderful. I will include your website and encourage students to check it out. Okay. So Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, Marlon.
Thank you.